Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tankers of all ages, Sir Harry here again with another user-friendly video. It has been a long time. I'm really sorry, folks. It's been about 6 weeks since I put one of these up. And you know what? Fall's here, summer's over, back to, crazy work schedules and family activities and all that. But no excuses. I've certainly been neglecting you guys far too long. And I'm going to do something today I have never ever done before. I'm going to do a full review of a premium tank. Now, I know premium tanks are not for everybody. Some folks just have lots of fun playing World of Tanks without spending any real money on it. And you can do that. You can have fun, and you can progress up the tech trees. It does take a bit longer if you don't have a premium account. And certainly the premium tanks allow you to earn credits and train your crews a little faster. But if you don't want to buy a premium tank, hey, absolutely no requirement to have fun and enjoy the game. But if you do decide that, you know what, I think I want to try to earn a few more credits, I want to train some crews up, then premium tanks, there are some really, really good ones that are not that expensive, and this is one, the Type 64 Heavy, the tier Type 64 Heavy. No, it's a Type 64. It's not heavy at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's a Chinese light tank at tier 6, and boy, is it a lot of fun. It's got a lot of great features. It's super fast, as you can see here. It's got a very fast firing gun, not a lot of alpha, but good camo values and really good spotting range, and yeah, you can get air in it. Wow. Yeah, the speed, you do have to be careful though because of that speed. Of course, with the new physics introduced a few patches ago, it's pretty easy to roll this thing or flip it over, so you got to watch what you're doing when you drive. So I mentioned this is a fast tank, and yeah, boy is it ever. 72 kilometers an hour forward, 23 kilometers an hour in reverse. Get you where you want to go really early in the battle. Get to those really good advanced spotting bushes so you can light up enemy targets, and your friends can fill them full of holes, and you can get all kinds of spotting damage. It really is a passive scout player's dream, this thing. The specific power is 21.9 horsepower per ton. Not the best. It does take a little bit of time to get to top speed, and you do slow down a bit on hills, but you know what? It's so fast, you really, really don't notice all that much. The ground resistances are also pretty good, except on soft terrain where it does suffer a little bit, but there aren't a lot of maps where you have to worry about that. I'm thinking like the west side of Lakeville is one example where you're running into some swampy ground and slow down a lot. It's very maneuverable as well. You've got a 56 degree per second hull traverse, so it can turn almost on a dime. 37.5 degrees per second turret traverse isn't amazing, but it's not bad. If you turn the hull and turret together, you're turning it over 93 degrees a second. So you can do 90 degrees in a second, 180 degrees in 2 seconds. So you can absolutely circle strafe targets late game with this thing if you decide to exploit into the enemy's depth and find those artillery and tank destroyer targets, and you can run rings around them and get lots of damage at the end of the game. The Type 64's gun is another one of its strong features. It has a 76mm gun that has an 18.9 second round per minute rate of fire. That's reloading every 3.16 seconds without, 100% crew and a rammer and all that. The penetration's okay, 128 with AP rounds, 177 with APCR, but if you remember that this can see up to tier 9 battles, you are really, really, really going to struggle penetrating tanks from the front. And that's where the speed and the traverse come in, of course. You can get in close and circle strafe targets, especially late game. You probably want to wait until they're on low hit points, though, because you're only doing 115 damage on average, which is a bit, kind of lowish tier 6 medium damage, I guess. But you know what? It's an okay gun. It is pretty accurate, 0.38, and it's got a 2.1 second aim time, which is actually really, really good. So fast rate of fire, fast aim time. You can pepper targets, and if you are lucky enough to come up against like some tier 5 and tier 6 tanks, you can absolutely wreak havoc with them. Two other really strong features of the Type 64 are the gun depression. It's got 10 degrees, which means you can work ridge lines really well with that quick forward and reverse speed, pop up, shoot, pop down. That's really nice. And it actually has 390 meters of view range. That is unbelievable. And you stick some optics on there or binos, and you're just going to be able to spot right out to the max 445 meter view range, and again, spot those targets for your friends. I actually have been told that while you cannot exceed 445 meters of actual spotting range, you can stack binos and optics, and that will mathematically help to counter enemies' camouflage skills or cam nets. So even though you're not going to exceed 445, any excess view range you have, I've been told, and I could be wrong, please correct me if you guys know better, can actually defeat the enemy's ability to hide themselves out to that 445 range. Now, before we go into the tank compare, let's do a look at the armor. Look how flat that front hull and front turret are. So, boy, it better be thick, right? Yeah, 25 lower hull, okay. That's not great, but it's lower hull. Oh, yeah, 12 upper hull, okay. Usually upper hull's better. No. 28 on the turret, 25 with a tiny bit of sloping, 28. Okay, how about the sides? Better? No, 12. Okay. Side hull? No. no, 12. Yeah, okay. 32 with the tracks. All right, that's some good news. You are going to get absolutely annihilated in this thing by anything shooting high explosive. Panzer IV H's, M4 Shermans, M4 A3 E8s, E2s with the 105 derp, and of course artillery is absolutely going to end your battle probably in one shot if you do get a direct hit by artillery. So do not get hit. Use camouflage nets, use a good crew with good cam skills, and just if you get spotted, just don't stick around, right? Keep moving and give yourself at least a fighting chance against anything shooting high explosive, because they are absolutely going to ruin your day in a hurry. So we'll go to tanks.gg and do a quick tank compare against the other Tier 6 light tanks. And you can see DPM, it's not too bad. The VK2801, I've got this fitted out with the 105 howitzer, and that's huge, of course, 2700 DPM if you manage to penetrate all your shots, but we know realistically that's never going to happen. So, 2180 for the Type 64, tied with the T37, is actually pretty darn good. Penetration of 128 is kind of middle of the pack. Only the T37 and 12T have better pen, and it's certainly better than the Russian, Chinese, and German light tanks for sure. And the reload time 316 is actually one of the best. Only the MT25 has more, and if you played the MT25 you know how quickly that fires. Reload time, yeah, that's really good, 3.16, and generally speaking, you know what, a pretty capable gun. Now we go to weapons handling. Aim time at 2.01 is actually tied for second with the MT25. The T37 is better. Accuracy of 0.38 is, yeah, it suffers a little bit. Only the VK with the 105 is worse, but you know what? That's not too bad. Dispersion, actually, while moving, turning the tank and turning the turret is really, really good. Again, the T37 is tied in most of those regards, and the gun depression of 10 degrees is tied joint first with the VK 2801. So that's actually all good, I think, as far as the Type 64 is concerned. Top speed, MT25, again, if you played that, you know it's not just a quick shooter, it's a real speedster, and the Type 64 is just as fast. Reverse speed's the same as well. Specific power 21.98 for the Type 64. It's down towards the bottom a little bit. Armor, absolute clear worst armor in the pack. The 37 has the same frontal hull armor 25, but its turret armor is a little better on the front. And 580 hit points is actually almost the worst. Only the MT25 is worse, but at least the MT25 might bounce some low caliber shots or shots at distance. So yeah, its armor, it doesn't have any, and we basically talked about the danger of high explosive. 390 meter view range, however, is the best, tied with the VK2801. So slap some binos, slap some optics on this, and you'll be spotting out to 445, absolutely no problem. So very capable passive spotter, and you can get in and duel a little bit at the end of a battle. Hey, let's get into some Ace Tanker gameplay. So for our first battle, we're in a Tier 9 battle on Erlenberg, and I'm immediately concerned. The enemy has 4 top tier or high tier heavies anyway, Tier 9 and Tier 8. They've got an M103, an ST1, an IS-3A, and a T-32, and our poor lone top tier, or I guess Tier 8 heavy is yeah, he's going to be in trouble. We do have a T-30, of course, a big, giant, monstrous American tank destroyer, but you know what, with that comp, absolutely should not be looking to push the west side there, down by the castle. Hopefully my team's going to send some tank destroyers down that way and play it defensively, because if we try to push against those big, massive enemy heavy tanks, we're going to get absolutely slaughtered. So I go to the east, and instead of going to the ridge at the north there, or the east side of the hill, I actually come to this little bush on the west side of the hill. And you don't see a lot of people coming this side of the hill often, but it's a great thing, great place to go if you're a scout and you've got good view range. You can get some really good early spots in, and you can see there I spotted a T-29 and a Centurion 1. And yeah, I know I shouldn't shoot. I'm supposed to be passive spotting, but I decided to take a few pokes at the Centurion, and then I get greedy. I put a third shot in, and yeah, he hits me, and that's a common mistake. It's a real new mistake I made. You get greedy, and you try to just get one more shot in there, and no, you should be pulling back, because you know what, you're going to take damage. And as we talked about, this thing has no armor and not a lot of hit points, so that was a really stupid thing for me to do. But that said, the Centurion remained spotted for a while after I pulled back. That's still my spotting damage if my team does manage to hit him. So I come up again. Now you can see he's engaging. It looks like the Tiger way in behind me. He's shooting over my head. And so I decided to get another couple of shots in, but this time I back off really fast. I do get one pen. The other one ricochets off his side armor. And you can see he's still shooting at the Tiger there. He takes a big hit from something there, and then our Mutz finishes him off. So I'm pretty sure that's all my spotting damage. That's great. I'm very happy with that. And because it doesn't look like the enemy has too many tanks down this side, I'm going to head down the west side of this ridge. I should have a clear run. No, I guess I don't have a clear run. There's a Mutz. Why is there a Mutz way back at their base like that. I'm not sure. He puts a shot over my head. I do get one penetrating shot into him, but I back off. I absolutely do not want to be trading with a tier 8 medium tank that has a really good rate of fire like the Mutz does. So I'm back. I use that big pile of gravel there as a bit of cover, and I drop spot. So now we can see the enemy T-37s on the hill way over to the east there. And I'm going to swing around. I'm going to come up behind a bush and try to keep this bush between me and him. I'm going to lock auto aim before I come over the ridge, and then as soon as I come over, my cursor turns green. I should be able to hit him, but no, you know what? My team takes him out first. That's fine, no worries. T-29, I'm double bushed, so I figure, you know what, I'll get a couple shots into him. But yeah, he's turning his turret, so back we go. I get spotted there, and we get out of trouble. But again, my team's doing some damage, and I just got hit by high explosive. That Mutz is shooting high explosive at me. Did, what, 50 damage or so? That's yeah, no. Okay, this Mutz is clearly a relatively new player. Not entirely sure where he's supposed to be on the map, and yeah, he's shooting high explosive. I guess he figures maybe I'm a light tank and he can one-shot me maybe or something, but the Mutz has a great gun, but it's not high caliber enough to be able to do any significant amount of damage to a light tank with high explosive. So I get a couple more shots on the Mutz here. I do get spotted, so I want to move. That ST1 is actually just across the canal. I think I'm covered by buildings, but yeah, I should be moving on pretty quick here because I don't want to take a big, massive Tier 9 heavy tank shell in the side because that could spell the end of my battle pretty quick. I do get a couple shots in the Mutz before he takes off, and my team's in hot pursuit now. They've eliminated all the resistance down that east side. I do get spotted again, and again, I'm not sure if it's the ST1 or somebody else, but yeah, oh, there's a bulldog. There's a bulldog camped behind a building by the enemy base. Again, okay, that's a pretty high tier light tank. Yeah, no, you wouldn't expect that to be there. Why is a player that has that much experience camping behind a building behind their base? I don't know. Anyway, so I lock auto aim again. This is a situation because you can see shots are coming in from across the river. Plus, I'm worried about the bulldog, so I'm focused on driving evasively. I want to keep changing my direction. I want to weave and bob and let auto aim try to get the shots into the bulldog because I definitely again do not want to take a shot from one of those big tanks over there. And luckily, they're missing me. I guess I'm doing okay with the evasive driving and our Skoda T50 tunnel visions, I guess. And yeah, he runs right into me and tracks me, and I'm stuck here. Luckily, I'm stuck on the back side of the ridge, not the front, not the west side of the ridge there, because I'd be picked apart, and I would have had to have burned my repair kit. So I kind of give him a dirty look as I drive by there. But now I should have drop spotted. I was on the other side of that ridge, and hey, there's a great bush here, and I've got really good camouflage. So let's pop over, try to get some shots into the ST1 or STI, whichever you prefer. I've got his side, and nope, doesn't work. He's angled a little bit there, and even premium rounds aren't going to do anything to him from this angle. So the Mutz is spotted way off in the distance, and so I aim, I miss the first shot. I'm using auto aim just to ensure center of mass because he is not moving, and then he does move. I get one pen in before he's killed, and now back to the ST1, and yeah, we'll see how he does here. Am I gonna? No, I'm bouncing. You may have noticed actually that I reversed the order of my ammo loading. That was for Clan Wars, so I automatically load APCR first. I'd forgotten I'd done that, so for this battle, I've been burning APCR the entire battle so far. So this is, well, it's a premium tank, so I'll earn some more credits. But yeah, I spent a lot of credits on this battle firing APCR when I did not need to. And as soon as I realized I'd done that, of course, I switched it back. It's easy for Clan Wars just to push the 2 button at the start of the battle. I don't really need to reverse the order. Can I pen the side of this darn heavy tank? No, I can't. He's getting picked apart, though. Our 1375 flanks him, puts a couple of shots into his back, and yeah, he's out of there. And so that's probably, along with the M103, the most dangerous enemy tank in the game. He's gone now, so he definitely should not have pushed across that river. He should have stayed back and worked with his team to probably fend us off. I guess he figured he had to come defend his cap. But yeah, we're going now. So we're going to go arty hunting. Artillery's probably in that southwest corner looking at where the rest of the enemy tanks are. I'm going to try to use this ridge to keep me safe from that M103, but he seems to be pretty busy, and holy cow, he is cleaning up. My team seems to want to kind of come at him one at a time, and yeah, that's a big, bad, dangerous Tier 9 American heavy tank, and he can certainly handle himself one-on-one against almost any tank in the game. I spot the arty, I get one shot into him, but then yeah, my team takes him out. So I'm denied the ultimate pleasure, of course, that being an artillery kill. So I'm going to go for the 103. I'm hoping he's distracted. I use auto aim again. I bounce a shot off him. I start turning, and yeah, no, he's not distracted anymore. He kills me, but you know what? That's okay because he winds up getting almost. He doesn't actually get killed. Actually, we cap out. So you know what? That's all right. Capping is perfectly valid. I'm sure the guys down south here, there's T50 probably would rather have a chance to kill the 103, but you know what? Capping's a perfectly legit way to win the battle, and good on my team for having the foresight to do that. So on to the battle results. Ace Tanker, fire for effect. I did more damage than the hit points of my vehicle. And hey, I got my first mark of excellence on this. That's all I have so far. I'm still working on it. But because I was poking away at a lot of different tanks, I actually managed to get a Confederate as well. And so that's kind of the runner-up Top Gun kind of award. You don't kill a lot, but you damage a lot of different tanks. You can see actually there, the red, I lost a lot of money. Yeah, so I did over 1,600 damage. I'm pretty happy with that. And 1235. Base XP in a tier 6 tank in a tier 9 battle. Definitely happy with that. That was a pretty good example of how to kind of combine some passive scouting and active scouting. I wish I hadn't died at the end there, but you know what? That's okay. Fired 33 shots, 29 hit, only 14 penned. Of course, most of those were the ones that bounced off the side of that darn ST1. But that's all right. Again, 1611 damage, 2302 spotting damage. That was great, but you can see because I was firing all those APCR rounds early in the battle, yeah, I lost over 11,000 credits with a standard account, mind you, so that's not terrible. So let's go on to the next battle now. We're in a Tier 8 battle on Malinovka. So Tier 8, yeah, that's a little better. Teams look pretty balanced. I'm okay with that. I'm in the south spawn. If you're in a light tank on this map, you really want to be north spawn because there's that magic spotting bush down around, where is it, E5, E4. But you know what? There's only one scout on the enemy team, and there's another spotting bush that the south spawn can get to if you're really fast. And hey, we know this tank is fast. And the enemy T-37 is not a particularly statistically strong player. So you know what? There's a chance that he may not even know about this whole part of the map here. And I'm going to try to get up here and see if I can get some spots in. So the coded optics are engaged, of course, because I'm moving. And, oh, there we get some air again. You saw that earlier on. And look at that. There's like half the enemy team, almost the whole enemy team lit up. And we can see my team is pushing off to the east, as they should. The heavies are all heading to hill. You absolutely cannot ignore the hill on this map because you will get rolled up, chewed up, and spit out. So I've got the spots going here. My team's laying some hurt on that enemy T-34. Not major alpha damage, but they're chipping away at him. That's great. And absolutely under no circumstances am I going to fire. I managed to get into this bush. That in and of itself is a bit of a minor miracle. And yeah, once I'm here, I'm definitely not going to compromise my position by shooting at anything at all. So the first part of this battle you're going to see is, yeah, it's a little slow-paced. But this is passive scouting, right? This is what you need to do. You need to get into one of those great spotting locations. You need to engage your binos, engage your camnet, and under no circumstances do you shoot at anything. So our Lorraine artillery managed to take out that T-34, and that's pretty much all of his hit points that we got as spotting damage there. So just by sitting here, having some fire discipline, not clicking the mouse button, we got a lot of spotting. Now the new Stridsvagn, the Tier 6 Swedish premium tank, and their E25 up here, normally this is a perfectly safe position for them to be in. They can't be spotted. Say, look where that Challenger is, of course, on that little ramp just east of me there. But yeah, where I'm here, they got spotted, and yeah, the Lorraine kills the E25 with one hit. Wow, that's going to suck for him, and that's a pretty lousy way to finish up a battle. But this is what passive spotting is again, folks, right? You get in your cover, and you do not move, you do not shoot, and you can rack up the spotting damage. The T-32 spotted. He just stuck his bum there out behind the rock, but I don't have any shots on him. So the Stridsvagn's backing up. I'm tempted here because now he's behind a couple of layers of trees, and I could probably get shots into him and not be spotted by him. But there's a lot of enemy tanks that were spotted initially that are not visible right now. So I don't know where that Black Prince is. I don't know where some of the other enemies are, and I do not want to risk getting spotted. So yeah, I'd love to put a couple into the Stridsvagn, but yeah, not going to do it. So I'm just going to watch him here, hope my team, my artillery, somebody gets some shots into him. But no, he dropped spots. Now we've got the Tiger 1 heading up the hill. That is not my spot. He's just barely within my render range. But yeah, and again, I could probably put a couple into him, but I'm not going to risk it. And sure enough, yeah, you see there the Black Prince pops up. If I had shot the Stridsvagn, there was a reasonable chance that Black Prince, who was behind that bush there, might have spotted me. And yeah, he's got a very high rate of fire. And him and the T-32 and who knows else is out there. The artillery could have put me out of action very quickly. So again, fire discipline is the key when you're passive spotting. So you can see now up at the top of the hill, things look like they're going okay. We've got, 3 heavies up there, and it looks like there's just 1, maybe 2 enemy heavies. But yeah, now we're going to start taking losses, and pretty soon it's just going to be our poor IS-6 up there by himself. There goes another one. and he's going to be trying to hold the hill all by himself. The IS-6 is actually a pretty awesome tank, great frontal armor. But the gun penetration is not good, so it can defend well, but certainly can't put a lot of hurt on the enemy. Stritzvong's there now, and you know what? He's far enough back. I know that Black Prince backed off, so I'm going to put some shots into him. He's trying to play cagey. He doesn't have really good acceleration, so it's hard for him to move back and forth too quickly. And oh, look, an Su-14-1, a Russian artillery. Oh, please die, clicker. Die, 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 die. Yeah, we'll get some shots into him, and he's so slow, I can just use auto-aim, even at that really extreme range. T-25-2 is spotted now. TD way back there, I guess, guarding the artillery. Our WZ-111, though, is charging in. The T-25-2 is looking at him. I auto-aim a couple shots, hit a few, miss a few, and now we go for manual, lead the shot, take out the T-25-2. So that's great. He's gone. And now it's just the Black Prince against our WZ. I'm going to start firing at the BP here, and yeah, you know what? That thing's got amazing armor. It's really slow, and the gun has really bad alpha, but if you can get into like a city fight in a Black Prince, you can have a lot of fun, as long as you're not fighting, of course, his bottom tier, and then you run into trouble. So I switched to APCR, and yeah, no, I'm still bouncing. And there, oh, I got spotted. I don't know who actually spotted me there. It might have been the T-32. I don't think the Black Prince did. He was far enough away. And look, there's the other artillery. Oh, and he took a punt at me and missed me. I was tempted to stop and try to fire at him, but yeah, no, where I was spotted there, and I'm a one-shot for anything firing an artillery shell. I figured it was best to keep moving. So now my Tiger and the Rudy are advancing across the field to try to root out this T-32. So you know what? He's distracted. I'll come out and try to help. And I put auto aim on here. I'm more worried about driving back and forth really quickly because, again, that FE207 could just absolutely wreck me. So I do not want to stand still, and I'd be worried if I go into sniper mode here to focus on the rear sort of engine deck there, the rear plate of the T-32, that I might lose track of my driving and be open for a one-shot. So I'm auto-aiming, and you can see I bounce a lot of shots off the top of his engine deck, unfortunately. And so I back up to get a better angle, and then, oh, I take a hit from the Black Prince. There's another one. I got to get out of here. That rate of fire is going to pick me apart really quickly. This Black Prince player actually played a very good game, very conservative. He stuck back a lot. Oh, there's a 207. All right, we'll take a shot on the move. No, not going to work. Our Artie puts a big hit into him, and then, yeah, I kind of steal the kill. But it's an Artie kill. You can't blame me, can you? No one in their right mind would give up a chance to kill an artillery piece. So I see now our IS-6 and the enemy IS-6 are kind of duking it out over at the bottom southern end of the hill there, and I figure, you know what, I can come over, maybe get some shots into the enemy heavy there because he's going to be distracted in his little duel with our heavy. So I come over and I load an APCR round actually, because of course if it's an IS-6 it's going to be hard to pen from any angle. I would have had a great shot into his rear deck there, but no, he gets taken out first, so that's okay. We'll carry on now. We've got the APCR loaded, and the Black Prince is up here somewhere, and oh, and he's a one-shot. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, time to put the speed of the Type 64 to use. Yeah, I slow down, of course. We talked about soft terrain resistance not being great, and of course I'm going through the water there, and I slow down pretty dramatically, and now I'm going uphill, so the specific power lets me down a bit. But that's okay. I've got this ridge between me and the Black Prince. Oh, and I get spotted. Something else must be around somewhere. Okay, we'll figure that out later. Auto-aim over the ridge, and in we go. Take out the Black Prince. So dangerous tank gone. And there, okay, there's the IS-3. He probably spotted me. I'm lucky I didn't get hit from him. I tried to put an APCR round into his front, but he was facing right at me. That pike nose, the armor on the IS-3 was absolutely optimized, and so even an APCR round was highly unlikely to hit him unless it dipped maybe and went into his lower plate. But that's okay. Our Rudy, who is now firmly on the cap, takes out the IS-3, and our team goes in to clean up the rest of the battle. So on to the results screen, another ace tanker. I got the fighter medal, which you get for 4 or more kills. I had 5 kills. I probably could have gotten 6 in the Top Gun if I'd gone for that last enemy artillery, but I figured the IS-3 was a much bigger threat to my team, and if I'd been able to get around his back or his side, I probably could have taken him out with a couple of shots. Patrol duty and scout medals as well for all the spotting damage and for that initial spot on all those enemy tanks. So yeah, pretty happy with that battle. Would have liked to have gotten the Top Gun and maybe not died at the end, but what are you going to do? 1,416 damage and 1,609 base XP. That's probably one of the highest XP scores I've ever gotten in any tank in this game. Super happy with that. And again, it all comes down to getting into that bush and getting all that spotting damage and then taking an active role once it came to cleanup mode. You can see I fired 29 shots, 26 hit, only 13 penned. I bounced a lot off the back of that T-32 and of course off the front of the IS-3 at the end. the 1,416 damage, but 4,081 spotting damage, most of that on higher tier vehicles. So that was great, and I managed to make a 25,000 credit profit, even though I had a standard account. So that's the Type 64. Again, the first time I've done a full review on a premium tank. If you'd like to see more of these, let me know in the comments. Is there a premium tank you're thinking of buying? I've done a few videos on them, just quick battles in my Fast Track series, but if you want to see a full review and maybe make an informed decision if you're going to shell out some of your own money on World of Tanks, and then that's great. If there's a non-premium tank you want to see, absolutely let me know as well. I promise I will not take as long as I took since the last video to get the next one out. Please consider clicking like if you like the video, and if you want to see more, hey, click subscribe, and again, let me know what you think in the comments. This is Sir Harry. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.